In this video, we will explain the different profiles of Japanese women that exist in society and provide you with specific examples of the type that is usually more compatible with Latin Americans. We will explore the characteristics and trends of these profiles, allowing us to better understand the cultural and social landscape in Japan. But before we dive in, let me assure you that there is always a Japanese woman for a Mexican. However, many times, Latin American men think that once they arrive in Japan, the most beautiful Japanese women will be waiting with open arms, eager for love and affection. And the reality is quite different. Many factors will condition a Japanese woman's interest in you, and luck is one of them. Hash compatibility. A crucial point to highlight is that not every Latin American is compatible with any Japanese woman, as very few are willing to engage with Mexicans, especially if there are barriers in communication. If you are the type of person who, when conquering a woman, struggles a lot to do so in her own language and culture, let me tell you that you have to accept that everything in Japan will be a bit more complicated. But don't worry, soldier. You are just a low-class warrior. And like Goku, you will have to increase your chances of achieving a relationship with a Japanese woman. Hash types of Japanese women. Firstly, let's explore the profile of the Japanese woman who, on the surface, might seem unattainable for someone identifying as a simple, low-class warrior. And then, we'll bring you the good news. The undeniable homogeneity present in most Japanese people allows us to easily identify groups with specific behaviors and values reflected in the women of this country. For example, in Mexico, this notion can be compared to the presence of groups like buconas and fitness girls, among others. Observing these different profiles gives us a clearer insight into their preferences, values, and behaviors. In Japan, it is easier to classify women and men based on their inclination to integrate into a strict social spectrum, maintaining balance in the existing society. From an early age, the average Japanese individual is guided by socio-cultural pressures toward one of the available roles in society. Within the categories of Japanese women exclusively reserved for Japanese citizens, we find the following. 1. Barakyari woman. Bari is a version of bari bari, which describes working very hard, and kyari is an abbreviation for career women. This term refers to women immersed in a solid professional trajectory who value success above all. Typically, they dress in business suits accompanied by medium-high heels, and since most work for major companies, they often speak English fluently. The rigorous schedule they follow makes it challenging for them to build romantic relationships, while their dedication to the company often distances them from their loved ones. In theory, this group of Japanese women might be considered incompatible with Mexicans, as it is assumed that these women would not provide the necessary dedication and might negatively judge them due to the deep love that the average Mexican professes for their families. However, there are exceptional situations where Barakyari women end up marrying Japanese men. It usually happens when the Japanese man is more successful than her and does not demand more than she is willing to give. There are also cases where Barakyari women end up with a foreigner. This is very rare, and in these cases, the foreigner is almost always young, Caucasian, and wealthy. Typically, this occurs when the Japanese woman encounters a career plateau within the company, reaches the age of 40, and experiences a sense of regret for not having established a family until that point. 2. Japanese hikikomori women. In recent years, there has been an increase in the presence of a new group of women, Japanese hikikomori. This term bears similarities to its male counterpart, the Japanese hikikomori, but has some key differences. It is a term used to describe people who love to do things like stay alone at home, wear pajamas all day, read manga, play video games, drink beer, or sleep all day. Since these girls stay inside most of the time, it's a bit challenging to see them outside. But if you're lucky, you might catch a glimpse of them in one of the local convenience stores, where they usually buy food and drinks to consume during their free time and weekends. Unlike men who take everything to the extreme, women, on the other hand, engage in work and typically choose to eat out. However, their main goal is to spend as much time as possible at home. For them, the virtual world strictly becomes an escape to fulfill any emotional needs, and some of these women even end up becoming successful streamers. The chances of having contact with one of these girls for a Mexican are practically non-existent. So we'll have to settle for the greetings they send us when giving them super chats. Changing the topic a bit, let's delve into what could be considered a ray of hope in the challenging world of relationships with Japanese women. Today, for the first time on this channel, I will share with you the concept of bonitas, or what is known as affectionate. It's curious to note how most Japanese people traveling abroad tend to adopt behaviors that are sometimes radically different from those they exhibit in their home country. This dynamic can be easily verified by following the social media of Japanese individuals currently residing abroad. Well, back to the bonitas. Bonitas are the typical Japanese women who, for some reason, never fit into the typical roles of Japanese women. It's very common that from a young age, they did not have a good experience with other peers in schools, and for that reason sought emotional support in other cultures. Furthermore, it is common to observe that they are very curious girls, and from an early age, they did not find the Japanese system to be the most suitable for their development. This dissatisfaction leads them to seek an environment that fits their uniqueness, rather than settling for fully integrating into a predetermined place. It's like the case of some Japanese people living in Mexico, but only socializing with a few people and moving to privileged places. They say they love Mexico, but in reality, they usually don't mix with certain social classes in ordinary places. Still, bonitas don't entirely belong to the common mentality of many Japanese people abroad. The difference with a bonita is that she is only seeking love, understanding, and tenderness. Therefore, the first Mexican at the top of her list will have a very easy chance of conquering her. But be careful, as if the bonita is not so ugly, you will likely have to compete for her constantly to prevent her from being taken away from you. 3. Single mother. Another suitable option for a financially stable Mexican would be to consider a relationship with a single mother. In this circumstance, you could potentially establish a serious and lasting connection with a young and charming Japanese woman. However, it is crucial to take on the responsibility of the additional blessing that comes with caring for a yamasaki. In all these cases, having skills in Japanese would enhance your options, as effective communication is essential to enrich the quality of the relationship. In case you didn't know, being a single mother in Japan is one of the most common poverty situations in the country. Single mothers in Japan face enormous challenges, from poorly paid job opportunities to having no job offers at all. It's the reality of being a single mother in Japan. There are different child care subsidy programs available to assist single mothers, but they tend to be very limited, and depending on the city or region, they have to deal with government intrusion into their private lives. Moreover, in this patriarchal culture, if children are born out of wedlock, single mothers face very great difficulties in obtaining child support. Holding a Japanese man accountable is impossible simply because he denies being the father. Such are the laws, and this is the most common case throughout Japan. On the other hand, in case of divorce, the only way to obtain support from the father is through an expensive and time-consuming lawsuit. Due to this high cost and as a result, only 20% of divorced mothers receive child support. The end result of all this is a high poverty rate for families headed by single mothers. In these cases, 54% of single-parent households in Japan have incomes below the poverty threshold. So if you're looking for a beautiful Japanese woman, you'll have to accept the Happy Meal with the whole blessing. Returning to the topic of Japanese women who are not compatible with Mexicans, we have the Minato Kuyoshi. Minato Kyojin refers to these women, mostly university students between 20 and 30 years old who love luxurious living. These women completely surrender themselves to the proximity of successful men, using their youth, physical attractiveness, and style to get free dinners at high-end restaurants. They limit contact to individuals who give them designer bags and jewelry. Their ultimate aspiration is to conquer a celebrity or a wealthy man. This lifestyle reflects a constant pursuit of status and comforts, where the connection with economically prosperous individuals becomes the key to their personal fulfillment. So, even if you seem like the most handsome man on the planet, if you don't really possess wealth or assets, you won't be able to conquer them. As irresistible as your conquest techniques may be, believe me, they won't work on this Japanese woman. 4. Minato Q. Yoshi. In my opinion, the most suitable option for an economically stable Mexican would be the single mother. By embarking on this adventure, you could be opening the doors to a serious and lasting relationship with an attractive and young Japanese woman. This scenario provides a particular dynamic that, in many cases, leads to stronger and committed connections based on the shared pursuit of stability and affection. However, it is essential to assume the responsibility that comes with the blessing of a Yamasaki. In this situation, as in all cases, speaking Japanese will prove to be a significant advantage to enrich your options and improve the quality of your interactions. Fluent communication in the local language will not only facilitate emotional connection, but also allow you to better understand cultural nuances and strengthen ties in a potentially meaningful relationship. 5. Yashikweyoshi. In the next category, we have the Yashikweyoshi, referring to women who seek to comfort men rather than stress them. This type of woman is considered highly coveted among the Japanese, as they often provide emotional support instead of adding tensions to the lives of their male partners. Their positive approach, frequent smiles, and ability to listen make them an attractive option for those who value emotional stability in a relationship. They have a big heart and are good listeners. This Japanese woman loves her culture and country. She respects foreigners, but due to unfamiliarity with other cultures, she avoids misunderstandings with strangers. In other words, she avoids having relationships or friendships with foreigners. After all, the number of suitors these girls have is absurd. Therefore, I don't think they pay much attention to the average Mexican who learns Japanese from Yu-Gi-Oh! And X videos. 6. Nikko Shogujoshi. The last and the dream of everyone is the Nikko Shogujoshi, which could be translated as carnivorous girl. This term is given to women who are proactive in the pursuit of romance. They are not afraid to take the first step in relationships. They generally look modern and sophisticated, have a reputation for being partygoers and extroverted. Most of these girls were not very dedicated to their studies. Therefore, they don't have good jobs, let alone speak other languages. In theory, within this group of Japanese women, there are the infamous gaijin hunters, which means hunters of foreigners or outsiders. However, and unfortunately, these girls are generally very attractive and demanding. This leads to a high standard and requirements for guys at levels far above the kit of a simple warrior from the lower class. The Nikko Shokuyoshi tends to target the Japanese considered more attractive, focusing on those who meet traditional standards of Japanese beauty. On the other hand, the gaijin hunter exclusively targets foreigners, especially those who possess characteristics resembling Hollywood stars. This type of woman seeks the attention and company of foreign individuals, often setting high standards and being selective in their romantic choices. Having reached this point, if you have really felt demotivated, I encourage you to cheer up again. There are many Japanese women who are genuinely interested in winning the hearts of Latin men, and in fact, many foreigners have won the hearts of Japanese women. If you also want to live that dream, I encourage you to take into account the advice in this video. Infallible tips to conquer a Japanese woman. Next, we will give you 5 foolproof tips to win over a Japanese woman and show her that you truly understand her culture, which is extremely important for them and their families. 1. Show genuine interest. Explore the richness of Japanese culture and value its traditions. Immersing yourself in the fascinating Japanese culture is essential for establishing a meaningful connection. Don't limit yourself to surface-level knowledge. Delve into the history, spirituality, and traditions that have shaped Japan's identity. Show genuine commitment by learning about local festivals, rituals, and significant events. By sharing your discoveries, you'll not only demonstrate profound respect, but also build common ground for mutual understanding. Researching and understanding social etiquette, the meaning behind festivities, and even everyday practices will allow you not only to impress the person you're interested in, but also to participate meaningfully in their life. This cultural exchange can strengthen emotional bonds and pave the way for an enriching relationship. Authenticity in your interest will be appreciated, showing that you're willing to invest time and effort to understand and appreciate their unique cultural identity. 2. Master the art of Japanese courtesy. Become a master of forms and manners. Etiquette and courtesy are fundamental aspects of Japanese society, and demonstrating proper respect is essential. Learning the subtleties of Japanese courtesy will allow you to stand out and show a deep understanding of their cultural values. Practices like exchanging business cards, meishi, are common and meaningful gestures in Japanese work and social culture. Additionally, reverence and respectful language are crucial in all interactions. Practicing appropriate greetings, such as the well-known good morning, ohayo gozaimasu, and using the honorific san when addressing someone will reflect your commitment to Japanese courtesy norms. Participating in tea ceremony traditions, where each gesture holds profound meaning, can be a lovely way to show your respect for local customs. Likewise, familiarize yourself with the art of ikebana, Japanese flower arrangement, and calligraphy, which are artistic expressions that embody Japanese aesthetics. Respect for personal space is also crucial. Practice moderation and modesty in your gestures and expressions. Knowledge and application of these courtesy norms will not only set you apart as a polite individual, but will also be perceived as signs of commitment and consideration toward Japanese culture. Becoming a master of these subtle practices will open doors to deeper and more meaningful relationships. 3. Show genuine interest in her culture and traditions. Immerse yourself in Japan's rich heritage. Demonstrating authentic interest in Japanese culture is a direct path to a Japanese woman's heart. Research and familiarize yourself with their traditions, festivals, and daily practices. Attending local festivals, participating in cultural ceremonies, and learning about Japan's history will provide you with a deeper and more appreciative understanding of her background. Japanese cuisine is a delicious gateway to exploring their culture. Learning to appreciate and enjoy Japanese food, as well as understanding table manners, can be an enriching experience. Additionally, showing an interest in tea ceremonies, calligraphy, and Japanese gardening demonstrates that you value their traditions rooted in aesthetics and simplicity. Participating in cultural events, such as the Hanami celebration, cherry blossom viewing, shows your willingness to share meaningful moments and appreciate the ephemeral beauty of life. Furthermore, learning some basic phrases and expressions in Japanese can be a charming gesture that shows your dedication to understanding and communicating in her native language. Respecting religious customs, such as visits to temples and shrines, is also a relevant aspect of daily life in Japan. Engaging in these activities will reflect your understanding and acceptance of Japanese spirituality. Ultimately, genuine interest in the local culture will not only bring you closer to your Japanese partner, but also build a solid bridge between your worlds, creating a strong foundation for a successful relationship. 4. Develop your nonverbal communication skills, the art of expression. Without words. In the Japanese context, nonverbal communication plays a crucial role. Learning and adjusting your body language can make a difference in how you are perceived. Facial expression, gestures, and posture are essential elements that contribute to effective communication and mutual understanding. In Japan, subtlety and moderation in emotional expression are valued. The ability to read your partner's nonverbal signals and respond in an equally nuanced manner is appreciated. Modesty and humility are important virtues in Japanese culture, so avoid exaggerated gestures or overly effusive expressions. During social interactions, especially in public contexts, it is fundamental to demonstrate respect and consideration towards others. Practicing the art of courtesy, such as bowing as a greeting and expressing gratitude, will contribute to building a positive image. Eye contact also plays a vital role. Maintaining a soft and respectful gaze can convey confidence and sincerity. In nonverbal communication, empathy and the ability to read underlying emotions are essential to strengthen emotional connection. Additionally, consider the importance of personal space. In social situations, respect distances and avoid invading your partner's space. Understanding these cultural subtleties will reflect your willingness to adapt and appreciate the complexities of Japanese nonverbal communication, thus building a conducive ground for emotional connection and harmony in the relationship. 5. Be patient. Building a strong relationship takes time. Be patient and show your long-term commitment, which is crucial in Japanese culture, where relationships are often taken seriously from the beginning. Patience is a fundamental virtue when embarking on the journey of winning over a Japanese woman. Here's a more detailed insight into the importance of patience in this context. Understand the cultural pace. Japanese culture values the slow and gradual building of relationships. Don't expect immediate results. Instead of rushing, enjoy the process of getting to know your partner and allow the connection to grow naturally. Respect for personal time. Japanese people appreciate personal time and reflection. Don't force situations or pressure to accelerate the progress of the relationship. Allow your partner the space and time needed to process their feelings and make informed decisions. Show long-term commitment. Stability and long-term commitment are key aspects in Japanese culture. Ensure that you convey your willingness to build a strong and lasting relationship. Patience is a sign that you are willing to invest time and effort to build something meaningful. Understand the importance of mutual respect. Patience is linked to mutual respect. As you progress in the relationship, demonstrate consideration and empathy towards your partner's needs and desires. This will strengthen trust and foster continuous growth. Take the time to deeply understand your partner. Patience provides you with the opportunity to explore and understand your partner on a deeper level. Use this time to discover their dreams, goals, and values, thus building a solid foundation for a shared future. Patience is not only a virtue, but also an effective strategy for building lasting relationships in Japanese culture. By adopting a patient attitude, you'll be laying the groundwork for a meaningful and sustainable connection. Thank you very much for watching until the end of the video, and we hope you enjoyed it and learned a bit more about how to win over Japanese women as a Mexican or Latin American. If you truly enjoyed it, remember to subscribe to our channel, give the video a thumbs up, and leave us comments with more ideas for upcoming videos. See you soon!